The touch of Jesus. Now, the Beatles, they just wanted to hold your hand, but what if someone wanted to touch your soul? Here's an example. When a wealthy person reaches out to touch a poor person, that contact can be both comforting and humiliating at the same time, because the poor person, he feels his poverty, but he may also feel belittled, because the rich man, unless he is completely without sin, cannot help but impart his superiority, his sense of otherness. And that is sometimes not short of a slap in the face or a stab in the heart. The touch of a wealthy person can be both a blessing, tremendously wanted, and a curse that is deeply unwanted. But if that rich person is completely pure in heart, sinless down to his soul, then something different happens. Yes, it awakens within the impoverished a sense of need and emptiness, but it does so with pure blessing. The poor person does not disdain having been touched. He treasures it as contact of greatest value. Now insert Jesus into this story, and here's your takeaway for today. The touch of Jesus is unlike any other touch that you'll ever receive. Consider the leper in Matthew chapter 8. This man hadn't been touched in years. His disease made him ritually unclean and socially dead. People would cross on the street on the other side to avoid him. And Jesus, who could have done the same or healed with a word from a safe distance, he reaches out and touches him. I'm willing, he says, be clean. The healing is instantaneous, but the touch carries something that the miracle would not have fully conveyed done from a distance. You are not untouchable to me. Or consider blind Bartimaeus and his companion outside of Jericho in Matthew chapter 20. The crowd tells them to be quiet, you're a nuisance, you're embarrassing us. But Jesus stops and calls them forward and touches their eyes. Immediately they see and immediately they follow him. Or finally there's the Mark 5 account where Jesus enters a house where a 12-year-old girl lies dead. The mourners laugh at him, but he takes her by the hand, a hand that, according to the law, would render him unclean if touched. He touches her hand. Little girl, get up. And she does, of course. Now, in each of these encounters, the touch of Jesus is powerful and it's emotional and it's spiritual, but it's primarily physical. That touch is never belittling, of course. It's never unwanted. Why? Because it comes from the heart of one who is doing the touching in complete purity and holiness, yet also in the 100% full humanity that makes up who he is. It is God touching God with the human beings serving as intermediaries, even proxies, for the God who is a human being. And here's what makes this even more stunning, and it's our real payoff for today. The touch of Jesus is ultimately the touch of a crucified deity. He imprints himself onto his humanity, a humanity that has been touched by the crucifixion and is in constant need of its purifying, disciplining, comforting, and ultimately loving embrace. The touch of Jesus is unlike the touch of anyone else. And Jesus is touching your life right now in your most excruciating moments and your most joyful, in your shame and in your celebration. For the touch of Jesus is the mysterious and scandalous combination of being touched by someone who is both blessed and cursed by God on Mount Calvary. Mount Calvary, the real eternal Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim, the mountain of cursing and the mountain of blessing, they're united in one person, extended through one hand, touching every aspect of you. The cross reaches out and touches your life every day. Jesus is holding your hand, putting you in physical contact with his loving, crucified life. In Jesus' name.